Hello, YouTubers. Joe Kersey and Paul Bennett here on Wednesday, December 17th, 2014 at just about 1600 in the afternoon Eastern Time. And as I said to Paul just now, he just got home. It's never as good the second time through. So he's gotten home from the hotel, and he claims there's nothing to say, but I bet you there is something we can elicit. Paul apparently stayed mute while I went over and refreshed my beverage. Come on in here, Paul. Talk to the folks.
I can see myself.
Well, come on in and talk to the folks, you know. I mean, you're the one that's been out and about in the world.
Oh yeah, right.
I've just been on the internet-y stuff here today, and you know, living a nice quiet life here up on Alum Creek.
So what?
Well, you were talking about some sort of towel holder thing, or
Yeah, the paper towel dispenser. It's one of those things you wave your hand in front of, and the paper towels
well, I've never
come
seen
out
such a thing.
automatically.
No, I've never seen such a thing.
Well,
They don't trust people to pull out the towels by themselves. I don't know. I've never seen such a device.
anyways, we got them. I thought we had a couple nice ones. Anyway, they took them out and put these other things in there, and they're uglier than shit.
Are they still sort of like you wave your hand around in front of it?
Yeah. But the problem is, we can't not use the paper towel rolls that we use in the one
Oh,
they just replaced.
They do it off rolls rather than
Right.
and
they shoved them back into the wall instead of them being out right flush on the wall.
yeah.
They're shoved back into the wall. So like the whole paper towel roll will be inside the wall.
Well, I may have to wander up and look at one of these bad boys. I've never heard of or seen such a thing. I bet I could try. I ought to try to find a picture of it on the internet.
Probably could.
What outfit makes these things?
Oh, shit, I don't know what the name of this one is. I know what the other one.
Well, what was the other one
I
called?
used to know the other one. I'd have to look on
Oh,
the inside of the roll.
I can't say I've spent a lot of time in hotel men's rooms, but you know. Well, I haven't.
Anyway.
No, that's never been a, you know, men's rooms in general have never been a favorite venue of mine for activities other than doing what you're supposed to be doing in the men's room. Oh, there was that one time down in New Orleans with that guy you picked up that had like 13-inch dick
Oh.
and really bad teeth. I don't know which was worse, this guy's bad teeth or the bugs falling off the ceiling of the hotel room. We drove him to the airport. We didn't buy him a plane ticket to Washington, D.C., did we?
No.
No, he had that already. But he didn't get to the airport, so we ended up driving him to the airport. Well, I came back from this meeting, this anesthesia meeting. And see, I told you we'd get onto something. And I walk into this. It was a very nice place.
It was a nice place, and it was up on the second floor.
No. They moved that.
You went through.
No, they moved us to that after, you know, a couple of days.
And when they moved us, they gave us.
Oh, they gave us this huge
they gave
room.
us a great big ass place.
But before that, we were off the courtyard, you know, in one of these New Orleans sort of guest housey things. And I walk in, and here's Paul with this guy, and it was very erotic. I joined you, didn't I?
Yeah, but fuck, you stuck around for like 3 days.
Well, but I mean, I joined you right then. I mean, I didn't
Yeah.
go back to the right.
You were done for the day.
Well, yes, I wasn't done for the day in that sense, but I was done in terms of anything anesthesia related for that day. And this guy, I am not kidding you. You can't make this stuff up. This guy had 13-inch dick. Limp. Well, which basically means about the same size hard, because the longer these guys' dicks are, they don't get much longer. A couple of guys from a certain ethnic group that I've been with, one of whom had a 11-inch dick. He worked in the operating room as an orderly.
I think he's been here.
Well, I don't know if he came up here, but anyway, he had an 11-inch dick. And they get segmentally hard. They don't seem to get hard all at once. It's like one part gets hard, one part gets hard. View this video as a physiology lesson. It's true. I am being very honest in this. I know I sometimes sound like I'm being sarcastic, but this is very honest. So this guy had like really rotten teeth. Well, the 13-incher in New Orleans. Well, we ended up going to several bars with this guy, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for shit's sake, we lived on Bourbon Street. What the?
Well, I don't know. I can't remember the exact address of this joint. I suppose I could look it up in Dameron's 1982 guide. That's where we found the place.
We were past the bars. I know that.
Well, it was a very nice, quiet. And these.
It wasn't that noisy.
No.
Where the house.
And
was.
these two guys that ran this outfit, they were very genteel. They weren't all that queeny either. Nor were they, into this, sort of leather sceney stuff. They were just two guys making a living, and then, as I said, for some reason, they moved us up into this thing that was basically right over, hell, almost next door to where they lived in their own place.
Well, we wound up down on the first floor.
Well, no, we were upstairs. Well, we were on the second floor.
We started upstairs.
Well, they moved us around.
They moved us downstairs.
Yeah, it's okay. It was fun.
To the big joint.
Well, so what I was leading up to, and it often takes me a while to wind in the stuff, is that we were talking about having sex in bathrooms. Well, we were talking about being in men's rooms in general, for purposes that perhaps might not be otherwise, for the purpose that you might be in a men's room.
We were talking about a paper towel dispenser.
Well, see how these things work out, and but there are times guys will go into men's cans for purposes other than just washing their hands and taking a leak and taking a dump. And particularly in a gay bar in New Orleans. This is on the second floor. I think this was in the one. No, this is the one. This isn't the one that burnt down. But I thought, I hope to God there's not a fire in here, because I'll tell you, it was crowded. And it was all. It's all wood. This thing going up in a heartbeat. And there have been some fires.
It had that big L-shaped balcony on the outside.
Yeah. Oh no, you've seen pictures of the outside of this joint in many videos about
New Orleans,
Mardi Gras and that sort of thing. So I actually did have to go take a leave. And this guy followed me in this long fellow. And he insisted I give him a blowjob there in the can. He was uncircumcised.
And
Well, no, I mean, he just had a very floppy foreskin. You know, it was very mobile. Well, I mean, just that.
did you go along with the persistence?
Yeah, I'm sure. I gave it a whack. Well, I didn't give it a whack. I gave it a blow. Well, something not blow, something not blow. And of course, you know, you can't get all that much in your mouth. You know. Yeah. It helps if you've been drinking basically from about 4 o'clock in the morning on. Well, that's called going to an anesthesia meeting in New Orleans, isn't it?
Good heavens, they're only 25 today?
What?
McMurdo.
Well, no, McMurdo Station's almost the same temperature we are. They're in Antarctica. I mean, we're about 28 right now. It's 25 degrees Fahrenheit down there.
Sorry, I misread it from here.
Yeah, no. No, I mean, it's...
I was thinking of a place in Australia where Dan and Johan goes every so often.
No, I haven't seen a recent temp from them on the Living Earth HD. Well, I had an end of this. Okay. So that was my little foray into that sort of activity. Basically just to see what it felt like to sort of degrade myself like that. It was kind of fun, actually, but it wasn't something I would necessarily want to repeat a lot. Particularly unless the guy had really much better teeth and a more manageable dick. You know, sometimes having an awful lot of meat isn't good, guys. Makes it inconvenient for the guy you might be wanting to connect with. Well, anyway, he needed a ride to the airport so he could get on his plane to Washington D.C. I guess he had been over in he'd either gotten a flight from Tampa to New Orleans or from Fort Lauderdale or something, and then
Yeah.
So he had this whole
Instead
sort of
of
whole
taking the connecting flight,
itinerary plan.
He got his way out into town somehow, and he just walked around for a few days.
Well, how'd you find him?
It was in the bar that we went and hung out in, where you gave the guy the blowjob.
No, that was the same guy. No, I know, but because I had not seen him before I walked in on you and him.
Yeah.
Well, that was.
I was out walking around in the morning, stopped off in the bar.
Oh.
And he was there.
Oh, okay. Well, but I wasn't there then. Right.
No.
Right. It was the same bar we went back to later that night.
Right.
All right. Here's a hot little number, though. If you could just ignore those T's. Oh, they were really rotten. It was awful. Well, the bugs falling off the ceiling sort of distracted me.
But the nice part...
Well, they were big bugs. They weren't as long as this guy's dick, but they were pretty big, long bugs.
But the nice part was when they had us moved, they said, since we're going to intervene...
This is really raw, guys. I'm sorry.
What?
Well, I'm interrupting you. I want to hear your story.
Paul, I thought you were done.
Well, yeah, well, for all intents and purposes, yeah.
When the two guys running this boarding house or apartment building thing,
Guest house.
what
I'm
they
sorry.
apologized for moving it. I mean, they
That's
caught me coming back
No problem.
and told me they would like it if we would move because somebody was coming back to town and he was quite a regular, and that was his favorite room
No,
that we were in.
maybe he liked all the bugs falling off that ceiling.
Who knows?
Maybe he. Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe that's. Anyway, that was the guy's favorite place.
Well, no, I mean that was
so
fine
they
by
asked
us.
us.
Yeah.
Asked to shift them.
Oh, it was fine. I mean,
Well, they gave me the keys to the other place, and I about shit. I mean,
it was like
this place was huge.
It was like sweet. But no, it was basically almost a 1,200 square foot apartment. That's what it was.
Oh, we had our own kitchen, darn.
Oh, it was magnificent. I mean, if
We're on the first floor. We have French door. You could open them up and walk out onto the,
I'm
into
sure
the patio area.
I'm sure that
Out
you know
back.
during high season they rent this thing out for $3,500 or $4,000 a month.
I'm
No,
sure too.
Yeah. I mean, it was very nice. It was very nice, and yeah, it was very nice. I mean, that was a great place. Now we had driven down there in the
79.
we drove down the 79, but you flew back home, right?
Yeah, I had to come back for.
Yeah, and that's when I drove home in the 79 Ford F-250, and
Is that a 2 or a 1?
no, that was a 250, and that was with the gasoline engine. That's the one I bought in Fort Wayne, and I was falling asleep, you know. It's an 18-hour drive, 900 miles.
Didn't you leave right after I did?
Yes, I did, and I saw your airplane taking off, you know, overhead as I was driving down the freeway.
Looking down, watching that freaking 15-mile up.
But you had to
bridge,
you had to get there.
And I was looking at the freaking
track.
truck.
the bridge across Lake Pontchartrain. But you had to get up. You had to get home. Well, about 20 hours ahead of me for work.
Right.
Yeah. Adventures.
But it's kind of fun. You look out the window and you go, well, "Fuck! There goes my car."
Yeah, no, that's right. No, he and I knew when he was taking. I mean, I figured, and I said, "Bet Paul's on that airplane," and it turned out he was. Well, fortunately, my little mini nap on the highway didn't result in an accident. I did stop just after I got across the Tennessee line out of Mississippi, and I took about a 3-hour nap there in a roadside rest area.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't think I had a firearm with me, did I?
No.
No, I didn't try. No, because I hadn't bought the first Guns and Mozart gun yet, had I?
No.
When
we took those to the beach house.
when we moved out here in 1982. Well, this trip was in about. Well, but I didn't buy my actual first. Well, no, I didn't buy my actual second handgun, and I didn't start traveling with handguns until.
Well, we had a shotgun and a handgun.
Well, no, I had the .357 Magnum that I bought to kill myself with in Indiana.
Yeah.
But I didn't buy the .45 Colt ACP Colt Commander until we got up here, and we got talking about Guns and Mozart. We were playing Mozart, and I said, "What we need here now is a gun we can shoot down on to the creek bank. That stuff." And And in due course, I went out and I acquired, this 45 Colt ACP, this Colt Commander. And meanwhile, a guy that I used to work with had brought up an old car hood that he had painted a huge. Yeah, Roger had painted this huge target on this car hood, and we brought it out and we put it down against one of the trees, and I'm sorry, sycamore. And we pumped many rounds through this target hood from the deck, and there
Raj redid the bathroom at the
without getting sidetracked into that, but so I'd gone down to Vance's Shooter Supplies in Columbus. Well, no, actually, it wasn't in Columbus. It was just outside Columbus. It was right on the edge of Columbus, and
there's different pockets around in
that
count as not Columbus, but they claim they're in.
Well, yes, but they're not in the city of Columbus, therefore they weren't covered by the idiotic gun regulations then extant in Columbus. The state of Ohio has since remedied that by saying that cities can't pass more restrictive gun laws than the state of Ohio has. And I got this thing is still the most accurate handgun I have. But while we were shooting this thing and we were playing Mozart, I said it would be great to have a T-shirt made up with Guns and Mozart. And did you do that? Who did that? Somebody made up a T-shirt that says Guns and Mozart.
Oh, somebody got that.
Well, somebody. It was great T-shirt. We still got that, obviously. Yeah, I'll have to dig that out and show it to you.
I haven't seen it for years.
Oh, it's actually probably right in there on top of that stack of my clothes there in the bedroom where I used to sleep.
Don't look at me.
Well, no, I'm
You're the one that can't sleep lying down.
No, that's not it. And you know that. So let's not be dissembling about that one. Actually, now that you've stopped smoking, you may stop coughing and jerking and thrashing around as much. Maybe I'll actually be able to return.
I don't cough that much.
Well, not now. When you were smoking, you did all the time. Plus, you had that foul crap coming out of your lungs. I mean, it just stunk to high heaven. I'm going to give you a little anesthesia insight here, guys. You can have somebody opened up with dead bowel, and that really is awful. You can be cleaning somebody out from below with a colonoscope or a sigmoidoscope and have this stool come right out into your face, and that's awful. But there is nothing worse smelling in the practice of medicine than having your face right down over somebody's trachea when they're coughing, with foul bronchitic crap coming up out of you. And that's the most foul-smelling stuff you can smell. Even worse than a dead body. Even worse than a dead body. And that's what you were coughing up. And it made the whole bedroom smell like that. So I went to the chemo chair. Where's my head? I went to the chemo chair. Yeah, that way. Yeah, that way.
down that hallway.
Yeah. Well, plus I had a little bit of restless leg, and I think that kept him awake a bit. And I like to wake up and read, and that one, and so. I started sleeping in the chemo chair in 2005, and that's when I basically read the Bible 5 times straight through, and started doing all my theology stuff and that sort of thing. So I mean, it's a mixed blessing, isn't it?
Well, the dogs had to keep changing places all night.
Well,
too.
yeah, and the dogs. Then of course, Shackleton basically settled, with me. An Oaklander pretty much stayed with you.
Yeah, but Oaklander would start at the.
Heidi would sometimes mix and match.
And then he'd want at the head of the bed, so you'd have to ask Shackleton to get up and move, so Oaklander could come and sleep on his head on a pillow for a while.
Yeah, well, I mean, but then after I moved out, Shackleton basically stayed.
Yeah. Well, Heidi mostly would sleep in the kennel.
Well, no, Heidi often spent, but she would go back and forth. I mean, she moved around at night, and of course, we'd get up and let I'd get up and let the dogs out at night, and Paul would too, and because they always wanted to go out at least once, and that was during around 2 a.m.
Then she got sleeping on the couch.
Yeah, she spent a fair amount of time out there, and
sleep out there.
Occasionally, she'd insist on crawling up on me, but generally we had a cushion over there she'd sleep on. It was on the couch, but it was where Shackleton would sleep with his head on the arm of my arm, his head on my arm. I missed that dog.
Oh, Oak.
I miss all these dogs.
Oak would hide and sleep under the dining room table in the living room.
Well, that's right. No, he'd get in there. He'd go in under my dad's table that he'd made. My dad made this table in 1936 in the shop there at the high school where he taught.
And if he didn't like a
big, thick walnut slabs.
He didn't like. There's a particular.
Well, we told the Bob Seger song. We've told the Bob Seger song.
He'd get hold of that dumb thing.
Yeah.
And he'd stash it.
Yeah, no, we've talked about that. No, the dog hid one of my favorite CDs because he didn't like the way I played it. But, well, I suppose that's better than hearing me talk about sucking off some rotten tooth guy in a men's room there in a gay bar in New Orleans.
Who's the one?
All part of life's rich tapestry.
Which one? Picture glasses out. You lay down and.
Well, no, that was Oaklander. Oaklander would hide my glasses in the.
And he took them, put them in bed.
Yeah, he wouldn't hurt them,
but
he'd pick them. He'd take them and put them in his little kennel cage. When the times we had to actually leave them in the cage. If we were going to be gone for more than maybe like 4 hours.
So you'd show him.
Which that didn't happen very often.
You're showing him a pair of glasses, and the. Where is it? And you'd whip it behind your back. You'd trot off to his puppy bed, and he'd get the glasses and bring them back to you.
I'm going to let that one slide.
That's how I got him the first time.
Okay. No, I believe you. I believe you.
I think Cap did the same thing.
Yeah, well, no. Now we are going a bit far afield. That's okay. It's okay. Anything else? Anything else in terms of like hotel stuff where we could sort of salvage our dignity on this one?
Oh, they took a sanitary napkin.
Oh, you know, talking about tampons and
Out
jam rags, what more could you ask? It's dignity.
of the ladies' room, and
Pour la
Instead-
modeste mujer.
I mean, it was a free machine. It's kind of nuts, but anyway, they took it out. So then they had to build shelves. They built a neat little thing of shelves to shove back into the wall.
What's all this recess stuff that they're doing? Is that now the new trendy thing? They have recess things?
Well, they're, you know, like that cupboard, that thing over there with the flag on it.
Yeah, well,
All right, without the doors.
that's the 1870 sort of.
Without
era.
the doors, that's what they built today in the dining room to put in the ladies' room and shove back into the wall.
Pour la modeste mujer. I always loved that. You know, when my buddy and I were traveling in Europe in 1971 with a Euro pass, you go into the train restrooms, which basically just emptied out right out onto the tracks. By the way, none of this holding tank nonsense like we had over here in the United States or have now. I guess maybe they have that over there too now. Is if someone had to change your jam rag, they had this thing that they, it's like dispensed the jam rag, and then there was a bag that they could pull out, and you're supposed to put your used jam rag in the bag, and it had multiple languages, but I always liked the Spanish "por la modesta mujer," for the modest woman. I guess as opposed to the woman who just pull it out and just throw it on the floor. I guess that would be the unmodest woman. I guess on the floor they ought to have like por la non-modesta mujer. You never know where I'm going to go. You never know where I'm going to go in the afternoon. I've been sitting here all day thinking about stuff. You never know what's churning around my head.
So when I walk in the door, it all comes out.
And you were a very liberating influence, and I thank you for that.
Tony's 50 degrees.
Yes, workshop is 50 degrees right now at
That's not bad.
9:28 their time, it says.
Poor guy. Good thing he has Monday and Tuesday off.
Well, he's working right now. Yeah, he's working right now.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
but he has Monday and Tuesday.
Well, he's got this 5-day break coming up here. He has to work Christmas night.
I've got another floating holiday coming up. It's either Christmas Eve or the day after Christmas.
Oh, it's Christmas. He can come up and watch me read
Watch
at
your
the
show
watch the show watch the show up there at the church.
between you and the judge.
Well, yeah, the Judge and Joe show, and yeah. Well, it's not about us. No, it's not. No, it is not. But it's a lot of
They
fun.
call it up there.
But it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
People come in, they find out they're both reading on the same morning. They go, "Oh, we're going to have the Judge and Joe show."
Yeah, well, yeah, it's again, like I say, it's not me doing it when I'm doing it, guys. It isn't. Anything else?
No.
Well, I think we've pretty much covered the waterfront from, sucking 13-inch rotten teeth dicks in men's rooms to reading at the communion service on Christmas Eve. That covers a lot of territory.
And replacing
Dispenser. Yes, and
things.
replacing jam rag dispensers.
And paper towel.
And paper towel, which could actually be used for the same thing, I suppose, in a pen.
I could get one and bring it home.
No. What? Jam rag?
No, you dumbass. Damn, one of these things you wave your hand there.
Oh, I don't want one of those. I like to pull my own stuff out.
See, we have to order another set of spatial paper towels for the new ones. And I've got to tell you.
Oh, this is also tiresome.
I got a whole case of the stuff for the ones they just took out.
Oh.
And believe it or not, we've only had these for about 3 months.
I think somebody somewhere is thinking too much. Not you, but whoever's making the decisions on that.
Yeah, well now they're thinking about redoing the bathrooms because they don't like the way they look.
Well, what do you mean look?
What do
you mean look? I mean, you go into the can to do something. It's not like you want to go in there for the decor.
Yeah, well, because we got all the new hallway, and you got all the old shit inside.
Did you see that big jump? See, that program does that. QuickTime Player 7 does that occasionally.
Anyway, they're thinking, I don't know, they may do it, they may not. I mean, all the all the wallpaper hangers, they're gone.
See,
we have electricians hanging around, and we have
that can be hot.
The guys that's going to do the
it can be electrified.
The wood floor stuff. Oh, and that turns out that it's not going to be like wood floor. It's going to be a slate tile that is cut and everything, and to look like wood floor.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're putting all the damn slate tile back. Only it's going to look like a hardwood floor.
Don't bang on that. It makes odd sounds on the video. So he's wiping the machine with his finger, which made an odd sound on the video.
But anyway, that's what it is.
All right, I think
we're going back to the big slate tiles, but it's going to look like hardwood floor.
And all I wanted to do is make like a nice 10-minute video, guy.
And the stuff for the kitchen, we're still not going to be able to get till sometime after Christmas.
Well,
I heard that today.
Well, about this time of year, things basically shut down till about January 5th. So, yeah, no, they really do.
I mean, why didn't you make sure you had the shit in the United States when you started this project?
Well, maybe they tried and they just couldn't get it. Yeah. All right, now I better shut up because I've got some other things I want to say, but I better just shut up. So I'm going to say bye-bye, YouTube.
Good night. Have a great dinner.
Bye-bye.